The moment you stand up for something in life and you strongly believe in it, life starts putting you to a test by making you go from one challenge to another to see if you will defend what you stood up for during those hard times. Now it is up to you to realize that you're doing nothing wrong. It's just a scheme set up to get you ready for success. Because success is much difficult to handle than failure.
Uphendula ndiyabuza ngoba ndiyakubona uyaziqenya ngale nto ufuna uba yiyo. Ndiyakubona uyaziqenya. Jonga suhamba ndithetha wena utheni? Uyaba yilonto uba yiyo uyandiva? Uyaba yilonto uba yiyo undishiye apha kule ndlu ufinde uphinde ubuye ndilapha. Nditsho kuwe mpa.
To my mother, I am a black sheep. And I really understand how she feels towards me as a mother. But what my mother doesn't understand is that in life, what inspires us sometimes isn't what we end up doing. It's about finding our actual purpose and to know the right place to fit in. Sia is one of the wonderful circumstances life gave to me, that people in my family presume to be a disgrace and disability. Yeah, like being disabled on a wheelchair. Even the community I live in get their own impressions of who I am from the impression my mother gives them. But I have learned to live with it, because they will never understand the world I live in, even if I explain it to them.
So, that's how I responded to the question I was asked by my lecturer. And that's how he thought that he could assume what was going on in my head just because he's got a doctorate degree. No, it's not funny, Paul. I mean, why can't just everybody understand how I feel? But I guess that's how things are supposed to be, you know? People base their opinions on perception of the kind.
That's where Bonga always gets it wrong. How we feel deep down is not something you can explain to a random person and get he or she to understand how you really feel, because they've never been through what you're going through. Akin.
Yeah?
Tell us what's in your mind.
Nah, it's nothing. It's...
Come on, Akin. Share with us.
You see, I don't really understand why people perceive you not to be humble just because of the way you construct your sentences, like just because of the way you communicate. Like, you know, it really pisses me off.
But you know, Akin.
Huh? Chill.
Akin, furious, aggressive, stubborn, but absolutely lovable. He always tries to project himself as a difficult person, but deep down, he is soft and sweet. Why do I seem to be able to relate with them? Yeah, it's because I'm just like them. People like Bonga, Akin, went through a lot during their childhood, which affected them psychologically, and tends to make them very sensitive, just like me. But the difference between me and the both of them is the way I handle my pain. You know, I used to think that I'm messed up psychologically, but I finally realized it's the community we live in today that has been brainwashed and confused. We live in a world where right or wrong is determined by what is written down by someone else. In other words, we live by another man's theory and see another man who try to come up with a theory for himself as a sinner. Even my mother sees me as a loser and a sinner just because I choose to believe in God and not the pastor standing on the altar judging people and not trying to understand what's going on in their minds. I mean, I can't tell you how sweet an orange is until I taste it. It is so painful that even our parents have turned their backs on us for this reason. But I have learned that my pain and tears is something that needs to be written down so that I can handle it well. I get over a lot of things just by meditating and writing poetry. I just choose not to get myself into situations and predicaments where I completely lose my sense of self, where I can easily forget what it is that makes me happy. A situation where I grow into somebody else and I start hating myself to the point where the thought of happiness is far away.